Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. Thank you for joining us on the program. Our guest on the show today is Julie K Parrott. She, in 2000, was awarded the Australian Sports Medal and 2011 awarded the Chief Minister's Medal for outstanding service to the public sector. As a mother to three daughters, Julie spent most of her adult life in the Northern Territory of Australia, playing and coaching tennis, taking an active role in the delivery of public policy. It was during this time that Julie also gave her spare time to assisting members of the community in writing their heartfelt thoughts for special occasions. In 2011, Julie, along with her partner and beloved pets, moved to Queensland, Sunshine Coast. Now she spends her time penning anecdotes, traveling, and sharing her life with her daughter, her partner, her 6 grandchildren, and good friends. She's the author of the new book, Cost of Truth, the story of Donna Gordon as she comes to terms with her sexuality. Julie K. Parrott, our guest on This Week in America. Hi, Julie. Welcome to the program. It's great to have you with us.
Hey, thanks, Rick. Great to be here. Thank you.
It is nice living on the Sunshine Coast. That's my ambition in life, is to live somewhere where it's got sunshine in the title. I like that, and hopefully you've got nice weather down there on an ongoing basis. I want to talk about the book Cost of Truth, because this really is a powerful, inspiring story. And I mentioned you working with people in the community and writing stories. And as I understand, this really started as a story not for the general public, but for what Donna and her family. This was going to be a very closed group of people that were going to be having a chance to read the story. And everybody said, this is so well done and such a powerful story. We need to publish this worldwide. So this just started as a sort of a small project, didn't it?
Well, it did, Rick, but can I just go back one step? While I was working, it was always my objective to be able to give people voice where they can't write themselves, to personal stories. I mean, I don't write crime, I don't write fiction, but I write from the heart, and I give people the opportunity to actually tell their own stories. So for a long time, I wrote personal anecdotes, I wrote heartfelt stories, speeches, deaths, births, whatever. And then I met Donna Gordon. And when I spoke to Donna, I heard little bits about her life. For example, having lived 3 years as a nun, having a strong Catholic faith, and then coming out as a gay woman. All of that sounded to me unusual. So over a period of weeks and months, almost a couple of years, I heard a little bit more about Donna, until one day after quite a mellow lunch, I said to her, how did your children feel about this? She's got 5 children. I said, how did they feel about your lifestyle and about you coming out? She said, well, it's been a tough journey. And she said, I've never really told them the whole story. They know who I am and they love me for who I am. But it's very difficult as a parent to share some of the tough stuff with your children. We often skirt around it, and it's hard to sit down and pour your heart out to your children, because you're often the one that's in charge.
Yes.
And she said, I've thought about that. She said, I've thought about it many times, but it's difficult. She said, how do you tell 5 children, and they're all grown up, they're all adults now? And I said, well, write it for them. And she said, well, I don't write that well. I said, well, let me write it. And that's how it started. So she said, can you write? And I said, well, that's up to the reader to decide, not for me. So I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I know enough about you to write a synopsis and to write about probably a preface about your mum. I said, how about I do that? You read it, and if you think that I can write about you from you instead of writing about you from me, then we'll do it. And that's how it started. And so we, over a period of 12 months, we sat together, and she cried and she laughed and she went through the tough journey that she went through in life. And I took down the notes. But my major concern in all of this, Rick, was that I had to write from Donna's perspective, not mine. I had to feel what she felt, and I had to be able to put that into words. I didn't want it to be a sanitized version of Donna's story. It's all right to be able to come up with the right words I'd want, but I wanted the words she wanted. So when we were about 3/4 way through, one of her sons said, do you know, Mum, he said, this could help a lot of other people. not just people going through the story of discovering their sexuality, but people who have tough decisions to make in life, and people that sometimes don't make those tough decisions. So he said, "Why don't we publish it?" And Donna said, "Oh, I don't know if I want my story out there." And then after we'd finished the draft and the children had all read it and put in some comments, we agreed that it could be published, but there was a couple of provisos, and one is that it had to reflect Donna, not me. Donna had to come out of every page, not Julie Parrott come out of every page. It had to be what Donna felt, the heartache she felt, the words she used, the expression she used. It had to be her. And that was number one. Number two was there could not be any sensationalism. There could not be a sanitized version. It had to be the truth, absolutely the truth. So we all agreed on that, and we published the book.
And the book is called "The Cost of Truth." With us is the author of the book. It's an excellent read. The book's available all across the country. Information available by going to our website, thisweekinamerica.us. With us is the author of the book, Julie K. Parrott. If you go to Julie's website, you can get information on the book as well. That's very simple. Julie K. Parrott, that's PARROTT.com. In fact, you mentioned something interesting because in looking at the reviews, one said it's a must-read for anyone who is living a life that is not genuine. So it doesn't have to be a situation where you're dealing with sexual questions. It can be living a life that's not genuine. Anyone who is living that life and the perception of me is not who I really am, this book can be helpful, very helpful for them as well.
Absolutely, Rick. And that was one of the reasons that we wanted to go ahead and publish it, because there's a lot of times in life that we have questions about who we are and where we are. And we can all read the self-help books, but sometimes it takes someone who's been along that journey, who has just got some basic heartfelt messages to say that it's not that hard. You can actually live with the truth. And to my way of thinking, what I admired about Donna is that she actually dealt with the truth and she lived with the consequences. And I think that says it all, because sometimes we can deal with things, but we don't want to wear the consequences. Well, so for my way of thinking, what Donna did was deal with a difficult situation and live with the consequences. And that is a strong message to a lot of people out there who maybe have got those tough decisions, not about sexuality, it can be about anything. Heavens, life is tough. It's not fun. It's fun at times, but it can be hard. So you're right. It's got a broad application.
Yes, and it's interesting, the story with Donna, as you mentioned, studying to be a nun. She was brought up a devout Catholic. Her husband, I believe, was in the seminary for a while, so he also is a very religious person. They have 5 children, and she comes to the realization that this really isn't who I am. Talk a little bit about that realization that this really isn't the life that I'm supposed to lead, and then how she was able to act upon that, because that would be scary for a lot of people and they would keep trying to deny it, and she was able to actually confront who she is and make the appropriate changes and tell the appropriate people.
Yeah, look, when Donna grew up in a family, in a close family, she was the only daughter she had 4 brothers. She grew up with love. But she also grew up knowing that there were boundaries, and that there was a husband and a wife, and that there was a family situation. That there wasn't options. There wasn't an option in those days. This is going back into the 70s, 60s, and 70s. The aim of every girl was to marry a man who they loved, and to have children. And it wasn't about careers. It wasn't about options. And Donna was in love with Michael. Michael had been in the seminary. Michael came from a high-profile Australian family. He was well known in the community. So was Donna. Donna's family was too. And she was absolutely comfortable for the first few years in being a married woman, until she had niggles all the way through her life. Something wasn't right, but she could never understand what it was. She couldn't quite put a finger on it. Then when she married Michael and she had 5 children, the feelings became stronger. It was there was a flatness in her life. It wasn't working until she met a woman. And the woman that she met, um, she had no knowledge of homosexuality. She had no friends that had been through it. She knew no one else that was in a same-sex relationship. In fact, it wasn't even called same-sex relationship back then. In fact, you didn't even mention the word homosexuality, especially not in a society that was a conservative society, middle-class Australian. When she met this woman, her life changed. She knew that that was who she needed to be with. She needed to be with a woman. Now, we could deny those feelings. She went to God about those feelings. She felt very strong about her religious background, so she fought internally. What's this mean for me? But it was a truth. It was a truth that she finally came to accept, and she couldn't lie to her husband. She couldn't. She dealt with it. Now, a lot of us don't deal with those things. We procrastinate, we let it sit there, and we can actually take another course. Donna didn't. Donna knew she had to be with a woman. The difficulty she had was with 5 children and dealing how she was going to manage a life with 5 children. And at first, her husband they were both devastated. They were devastated, of course, for different reasons. But Donna, the sad part was that Donna was then not able to live with her children for many years. And that is something that brought great sadness and heartache. She now has the best relationship in the world. They are her best friends, but it was a very long journey. And that's what the story is about, is how she made that journey from that first discovery to the time she is now, which is a proud gay woman and a proud mother of 5 children.
It's all in the book, Cost of Truth. Julie K. Parrott is our guest on This Week in America. The book is available all across the country. Julie's website is juliekparrott, PARROTT.com. The book is available there as well, information. You can go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on directly to Julie's website. You talk about the relationship with the children, which is now a very vibrant relationship, best of friends. The relationship with her husband she describes him as a best friend now as well. So that evolved as well. The relationship, though, with her mother was different. Talk about that aspect of it.
She had the greatest respect and admiration for her mum. Her mum was probably her mentor in life, but her mother could not come to grips with her sexuality. Her mother denied it to herself. Donna tried to explain it early in life, and Donna's mother agreed that she needed help from God. She needed her religious help to become the person that she should be. Donna then realised that she couldn't discuss it with her mum. They were living on different pages. They couldn't see through the same objectives. Donna's mum saw Donna still as having married a wonderful man and having been the mother to 5. She wanted her back in that space. Donna could not then go back and talk about her new life to her mum. So they both were in denial. They both just never discussed it with each other. The mother accepted that Donna was probably still living that life, but she didn't want to know. She didn't want to hear it. So Donna didn't really go there again until her mother was on her deathbed, when she knew her son Paul said to her mum, "You have to actually be honest with your mum. This is the time she needs to know who you were." And so Donna did go to her on a deathbed. She did say, "It's who I am, and you love me for who I am. I can't change that." And her mother never really accepted it. So I suppose to some degree, Donna did share her life with her mum right at the end, but it would probably be something that Donna would have welcomed a lot earlier in life.
The book is called Cost of Truth. Julie K. Parrott, our guest on This Week in America. It's interesting as you're reading the book, and you did an excellent job in telling Donna's story and not over-dramatizing. There are sensational aspects of this that could be sensational if the author allowed them to be. It has this touch of reality because you didn't step over that line. Was that a conscious decision as you're writing the book that, okay, I'm going to let the facts and the feelings, I'm going to lay them out there and people can form their own conclusions?
Look, Rick, you're very right. One of the reviews, a very good friend of Donna's, said Donna leaks from every page, and that's true. Her life wasn't sensational. Her life was an everyday woman who had the courage to deal with and live her life that she knew was the life for her. That took courage and it took dignity, and she did it with grace. But I worked really hard not to sensationalize it, not to put my thoughts, not to make it into a sordid story, or to give their reader a journey that would excite them when there wasn't excitement. So it's honest and it's raw. There is nothing in the book that is Julie Parrott. There's nothing in the book that belongs to anyone else. It is Donna's story, from Donna's words, Donna's heart, and Donna's pain. And I worked very hard throughout not to sensationalize. And I also didn't want to sanitize it at the same time. It needed to be written from Donna's point of view. It was like I wanted Donna to actually be the writer. So I suppose that's where I came from. And you're right, I worked hard at it.
And it shows in the book, Cost of Truth. A couple minutes left in the program. And I know as a reader, as you're reading this, you have such admiration for Donna, who's really able to confront, okay, this is not who I am. This is what I'm going to have to do. A painful decision, but a necessary decision. And it's one that, taking it another step, not just telling family members, but basically telling the world so she can help other people. We talk about the fact it doesn't have to deal with people dealing in sexual situations. Anybody that needs to find the truth to be themselves, this book is a key to them, isn't it? To understand themselves and know it's the first thing the best thing you can do for yourself is to be truthful.
Oh, you're dead right, Rick. And that's one of the reasons that we actually put it out to be published, is that it was a powerful story about an ordinary woman who lives an ordinary life, and there are many, many people like her in the world, not so much about sexuality, but have got tough decisions to make. So this is an honest, raw story. There will be people that don't like it. There will be people who make comments to say, that's not the way I would have lived. I would have stayed with my children. But this is Donna's story, and it's told in an honest way. And let's hope that it gives someone else some support in living the life that they want to do, to be truthful to themselves.
The book is called Cost of Truth. A minute or so left with Julie K. Parrott, our guest, the author of the book Cost of Truth. And tell me about Donna's health now, because we know from the book a couple of years ago that she was diagnosed with cancer. How is she doing today?
Look, she has the regular 3-monthly checkups, and her prognosis is, we don't know. Her cancer markers at this point in time are steady, and she lives a positive, healthy life. She lives knowing that her time can be up at any time. So therefore, what she does is make the most of every moment. She makes her life a precious time. Her health remains good at this point, but she still retains her 3-monthly checkups.
What impact did Donna have on your life? She's touched so many people as readers of the book Cost of Truth. If you go to Julie's website, you'll see a lot of reviews, and it's really made an impact. But what kind of impact did she make on you?
Personally, she made me understand how important it is to live your life truthfully. I'm not saying I lived a lie. I didn't live a lie. But there are times when you probably shy away from the bare facts. So she gave me the impetus to help me to be a stronger person today. And I thank her for that.
One of the reviews said it talks about the peace of mind and the importance of truth. That sums it up very nicely. The book is called Cost of Truth. Julie K. Parrott, that's Parrott, is the author and our guest on This Week in America. Her website is julieKparrott.com, 2 R's, 2 T's. You can log on directly and link up with Julie's website by going to our website, thisweekinamerica.us. A very important book. Very well done, Julie. Thank you so much for sharing it with us on the program. It's been great to have you with us.
Thanks, Rick. It's been fabulous to be able to talk to you, and I just hope someone else gets the benefit of understanding that they can live a truthful life and a peaceful life if this book helps them.
I encourage people to get a copy of the book, Cost of Truth. Again, it's available all across the country and available at Julie's website. That's juliekparrott.com. Link on directly at our website, thisweekinamerica.us.